everyone. I am live. Okay, cool. I'm Aldyn, the Twin Flame Psychic, and I am here with you for a card reading. So welcome Starseeds, welcome Twin Flames, welcome Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine. However you identify, if you are on your Twin Flame Ascension path or you would like to be, you are in the right place at the right time. And it is time, with that being said, for a channeled message for the full moon in Virgo that is upcoming, as well as Aries season, which is ahead. And so whenever you're catching this, if you are attracted to this message, it is the perfect time for you to receive it. And that's because, you know, time is really a bit of an illusion, isn't it? It's really totally an illusion, but at the same time, we do have to transcend that in order to really fully realize that. And so it's also important to honor your own time, respect commitments, especially the underlying commitments of things. And that's going to help you really with being your full self and not feeling like, I don't know, you're giving up on a part of yourself or like something like that. So really following through with deeper commitments. And time is sometimes a tool to help you with that realization really for yourself. And it's also something that shows you that the love between you and your twin flame is timeless. And time again, you will find yourself in love with your twin flame, no matter how much separation has come between you both. So let's pull some cards to get some further clarity on what is going on with the Virgo full moon. So Virgo full moon really favors a time of possibly organizing, making peace with your so-called imperfections and finding that inner state of perfection within, of divinity. And health, very health-oriented, digestion-oriented. I don't know if I'm shaking at all. I'm realizing the way that everything's set up, so I'm shuffling the cards. Did not shuffle them ahead of time. I decided to really do this, with the full energy of everything taking place during the live reading. And so the first card, and this card has come up quite a bit recently in the last couple of months with collective readings, so I think that is interesting. Anyways, it's Kunzite. It's Kunzite. And this is children, third eye, and heart chakras. It's number 22, so it's very twin flamey. And so it's really about the inner child and the inner child of your twin flame coming together. So coming together from that really peaceful place of love that is innocent, and that is a foundation for more romance and friendship, and all of that really cultivating to this beautiful divine union between you and your twin flame that really you and your twin flame just share. It's not anyone else that shares that connection with you except for spirit, the divine, God. So God, his and herself, do share that with you both because you're not made by yourself. And so sometimes, you might encounter a block even though you're like, I know that, I know that I didn't create myself, or maybe you're not sure if you did. But even if you know that in your heart, sometimes there's still a block to thinking like it's all you, needing to make something happen. But then when you allow the divine in and to flow with you and through you and create with you, this is a very innocent, childlike energy, very fun. It's like things become more fun to do as well. And that makes it makes your whole life kind of like come alive. It makes me think of that scene in Mary Poppins when they are jumping into the sidewalk and then suddenly that's their reality. So you don't need to like go into an alternative reality to be fully present in your reality, you really just need to invite God in with you, and that is the same as jumping into the sidewalk. Next card. Turquoise, balance, throat and heart chakras. So this is really, this also came up very recently actually in a reading, and so what this brings up, and it's very Virgo energy, I feel, but it's about balance from a mastered place and using that mastered balance to then expand from, rather than expanding from a like kind of experimental or place or a lot of fire energy where it might look kind of crazy. It's like it's methodical expansion from a balanced place within. Even if it's not that much mastery that you have at something, it's better to embrace that mastery and utilize that then to expand beyond it with peace. And it also means not clinging on to your mastery, because sometimes when you do that, you actually aren't fully able to, let's say, empty your cup so that the new information, the new teaching, the new wisdom can come to you fully. And that's so important at this time when so many are focused on the ascension of this planet in your very own special way in your heart, because you may really desire peace and not know how to get there. But the twin flame journey, the good news is a very good way to achieve that and to just be on, cultivating that as you go. And so that's really helpful for the whole planet, because you're doing that not only for you, you're doing it for everyone as you do it. We are all of one consciousness, and there's really no denying that. And so you're making it much easier for other people to align, and you're helping to be a part of that vibration, and you're creating your own unique vibration as well with your twin flame, and you're also aligning with the vibration that is already there. So it's this really beautiful process. And this peridot, I'm always like, is it peridot or peridot? So it's really beautiful stone, beautiful green color, teach. And this is about both learning and teaching and them all being one and the same. Today I actually posted something by Aldous Huxley, and it was I'm forgetting the quote now, but it's basically that not everyone is teachable just by experience. It's not experience alone that makes you teachable. You actually have to choose to be teachable, then experience can teach you. So we sometimes think that, oh, I have all this experience, so I've learned so much. Well, maybe you have, or maybe you're just not learning from your mistakes, and it's okay to just, be humble and be right where you're at. And learning is a process, and the more compassion you have for yourself with learning, also the better a teacher you can tend to be, because the more compassion you're naturally going to have for others. And, God recognizes this, Spirit recognizes this, and it really does help you to magnetize your twin flame into your life, because it's the signal to the universe, like, yeah, I'm ready to invite this in. Like, I have cultivated the compassion and the maturity to share that with my twin flame, because you're ultimately going to be teaching them as well and learning from your twin flame as well. So it's really important to have that somewhat mastered if you want to have, a harmonious union that's not too rocky to start with. But, everyone's comes together in the perfect divine order, so you don't need to try to control that. And if you're wondering why yours is taking so long, or I've noticed a few people lately being like, my twin flame blocked me, this is like the most worst thing that could ever happen. And I totally get that, But at the same time, it's not. It's actually a step forward, you know? You're actually calling in more peace, and you're calling in the end of your separation because you're facing it. And if you choose to move forward from here, then yeah, you know, you're facing it. And if you don't, then you're not facing it, and at some point you will. And so your twin flame is doing that for you from a place of compassion. Whether or not they realize that is another story, but it doesn't really matter for you to focus on themselves, like your twin flame as his or her self. If you focus on what God is doing through your twin flame, then it sometimes can be a lot easier to humble yourself and to just chop wood and carry water. I got that right? Like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, not chop water. So, you know, and then you just do your spiritual work of the day, and you're not going to be overly preoccupied with how your twin flame themselves feels and thinks about you. Because while it's nice to know that and to feel that, and that really is just amplifying what you're already doing for yourself. And so if you're loving yourself already and you find yourself at peace, then you'll just continue to go deeper with that, and you will hit that point where your union is going to find a way to come together. And that might be you having an epiphany to reach out to your twin flame, or it might be them reaching out to you, or it might be, you know, your twin flame is someone you didn't expect. It can be a lot of things if you really remain, like, again, in a state of humility about it, but also not being, like, stupid about it. You know, it doesn't mean you need to, like, pretend you don't feel how you feel or you don't know what you do know, but also surrendering that to the divine is the best way. And if you really want to go deeper with your twin flame ascension path, there are links for that below, and you can work with me. I really suggest working with a coach on your twin flame journey and learning Jeff and Shalia's work. You're not really going to find another great way forward that's going to take you where you actually want to go. So I notice a lot of things being said with, like, a lot of kind of energy that might pull you in because it's what you want to hear, but it's not what you actually want to hear if you really want to do this and, like, truly raise the vibration of the planet. This work is for you if you want to do that, and you want this as your ascension path, and you want to be with your twin flame, you know, quite literally as well, which is totally natural thing to desire, so that's cool if you do. So let's go back to the energy of the full moon, and why is all this coming up? Well, I think that there is, like, this big energy to this full moon because it's leading the way into the new astrological year for the tropical zodiac. And so it is this culmination of manifesting, you know, what did you manifest this year in a way? And even if it doesn't look so good on the outside in one particular way, don't focus on that. And I think a part of the reason that I'm saying that is because Virgo can get very nitpicky. And that doesn't need to be, though, because all of those traits about all the signs that are things that are, I guess you could say, like, problematic, can be transcended into something very beautiful and very helpful, and, you know, like the medicine. And so then what is the medicine of that? Well, it's really seeing the gift instead of the problem, and in receiving that gift, then you open yourself up even more so to the solution of what comes along with what it is that you have manifested this year for yourself. And you can also, of course, celebrate the wonderful things that you've manifested that are, like, very obviously just wonderful. But, you know, it's funny. Sometimes we think something's really wonderful, and it can actually turn into a burden if we don't continue to, like, purify our consciousness and to surrender it to the divine, basically, you know, clinging on to things. I know sometimes I have an issue with cancer in my second house, with clinging on to my value in certain ways, you know, Cancer the crab. So you might have certain areas that you're working on too, and it's fine to recognize that and to just, you know, choose peace there and to work through it. You will get to the other side if you do. And then, you know, we have Aries, and let's pull some cards for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine specifically. So these are going to be from the Crystal Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. And this first card is going to be for the Divine Feminine, okay, for the beginning of the new year. Rhodochrosite, this is a really nice card to get, in my opinion. Be gentle with yourself, okay? Be gentle with yourself. You've been through a lot and need time to heal and recover. Well, you might be like, how am I going to do that? I have all these things to do. Or you might be like, oh, that's great, you know, or a little bit of both. But if you prioritize yourself and begin doing that, then you'll find a way to also meet the needs of others actually even more easily, like commitments that you have and such, or maybe they'll fall away. But in any case, it is really important. This is being highlighted to you at this time, to be gentle with yourself. And it goes very nicely too with the Virgo full moon. So, you know, maybe you can even start during that time of the full moon some extra self-care. It's always nice to have some kind of a self-care ritual, if you will, you know, for the full moon, if you want to do that, if you remember. If not, maybe it's just a feeling. Maybe it's something you can add in, but some way of being gentle with yourself. And for some people, at certain times, it really makes a difference to show up for yourself by, you know, doing something consistent that's like self-care oriented, or consistently giving yourself time to do something that you enjoy. For other people, it's just, you know, maybe more of a kind of back of the mind, being conscious of that and operating from that place, or a combo. So whatever works for you for this card, okay? So this is a card for the Divine Masculine for the Aries Equinox and the astrological new year. It's Tiger's Eye, self-confidence through God confidence. Believe in yourself by believing in God working through you. So yeah, it's really just going deeper with it's an encouragement. It's believing that you do have what it takes, even when maybe sometimes you feel like you don't, or like, how am I going to do this? Where is this going to come from? And really letting Spirit into that place, letting Divine Father and Divine Mother into that place to help you out, you know, to support you and to call upon your strength. And yeah, your strength doesn't originate from you, but you can summon it. You can, you know, be one with it. And yeah, so believe in yourself by believing in God working through you. And strength isn't always an outer thing. Sometimes it's strength to feel your emotions, you know. So pay attention to what that really means for you. What would make you truly strong, not just kind of be able to say you're strong. Let's do a card for both, you know, like what is the underlying message for your union at this time. Amethyst. Oh, cool. I'm wearing some amethyst earrings. Revealing your true self. As you allow others to know the real you, you'll feel loved for who you truly are. I really got like the urge to straighten my spine more reading that. So I think there's a message here to really like align, basically, and align with your intuition, and to just feel more comfortable and relaxed in being your true self. Like there's nothing to be just like nervous and anxious about, you know, in that truth. And tapping into your intuition can be helpful for that. So revealing your true self. As you allow others to know the real you, you'll feel loved for who you truly are. I love that. That's such a nice, simple, wholesome message, you know? Something that we can always, well, pretty much always be reminded of, I think. Let's do at least one more deck. and see if it feels complete. So this is going to be Nature's Whispers. So let's see about a message for the element of fire to begin with for Aries season. You know, like, how is the element of fire going to help you on your twin flame ascension path? So fire is going to help you it's going to help you seek beauty. So it's going to help illuminate you to true beauty. And beauty is valuable. Don't you pay for nice things, you know, over something that's not so nice, right? Like something that is not only, you know, fits. And also beauty is about smells and other things too. So it's not just about the looks and the appearance, but it's illuminating all of those qualities that equal beauty. And so Aries season can help you do that, and it could perhaps help you do it very quickly and make some nice decisions for yourself if there's something you're trying to decide upon moving forward in your life related to beauty, related to what's the underlying thing here is really like enjoyment. So a way to embrace enjoyment and be like passionate about something that you will enjoy. And it's related to your purpose as well. So it's related to your purpose that you have as one with your twin flame. And this card is going to, what was it for? I had it, so it's for the Virgo full moon energy. So it's really for Earth energy around this time. And this is the big picture. So it goes with this card of seeking beauty. And it's funny because there's a little literal earth here, and there was literal fire in the fire card. So I just like to draw your attention to that because I think that's important. So yeah, it's about the big picture. So this is really like illuminating the big picture for you and allowing you to see what is blooming in case it wasn't obvious before. So pay attention around this time, and that's going to be in just a few days. On the 18th is the peak of the full moon. And as you may know, the moon only stays in a sign for a pretty short while. Well, I don't have the exact hours, but it's over a day that it stays in a sign. And I think over a day, wait, is that right? It's about a day, basically. I'll find out in my next reading and get back to you on that one. But that's why in astrology, sometimes you don't know someone's moon sign, even if you know the day they were born, because the moon changes pretty frequently. So be gentle with yourself. This is tying this all together. This is number 33. So this is a card of unity, communication, creativity. And it's very similar to the Divine Feminine message that was received earlier about being gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. So this is really for everybody as well. To, like when you're gentle with yourself, then you can actually more easily see where your purpose is providing a path forward for you. In Aries season, as it is ruled by Mars, is very purpose oriented, and there's, you know, that fiery passion behind there. And so being gentle with yourself can actually help you prepare for that and utilize that energy better, because otherwise you might get burnt out on that energy, especially as it always comes right after Pisces season, which is no accident. And Pisces season is very spiritual energy, and you can take, you know, you can embrace and receive what you've cultivated during this time and utilize that with gentleness to move forward into Aries season for best results. And in the northern hemisphere, it is going to be springtime, and then in the southern hemisphere, it is going to be fall. So the equinox is when the nighttime and the daytime are equal, versus a solstice is when the sun is either going to be like the longest day of the year or the shortest, basically. So don't feel quite complete. I feel like there's still a message here for you. And so I am going to use these these sacred geometry of relationship oracle cards to pull everything completely together for you for a clear vibration of what you can utilize in all of your relationships. Most importantly, the one between you and spirit, and the one you could say between you and your higher self, highest higher self. So what is this particular frequency that you can really utilize at this time during Aries season to really tap into your divine essence, and then to call forth that energy into your reality? Does people who are attracted to the same sex... Oh, why did your message disappear? I'm trying to read it. I didn't read... Is it here? Let me see. I don't know if you... Okay, I don't know where your message went. It disappeared. Maybe it's still here and I'm just, I'm not seeing it. But if you are in a same-sex union, or you believe your twin flame is the same sex as you, that does happen for sure. As I understand it, one twin flame is the divine masculine and one is the divine feminine. I feel completely confident that that is true. Personally, I understand, that you have your own personal exploration and journey to go on to conclude for yourself if that is true for you. And so that means that if you're in a same-sex union, one of you in truth is the divine feminine and one in truth is the divine masculine. And the more you heal in this lifetime around that, the easier it's going to be to incarnate in the body that you desire. As you move along, if you do choose to incarnate on Earth again. And the Twin Flame Ascension journey is about that. It is about being able to cultivate heaven on Earth, meaning you can come back and you can be here, and this can be your heavenly home with your twin flame, not a place of horrendous separation. And so that's why it all comes right down to you being on your twin flame journey, investing in your own twin flame journey. It's helping to raise the whole vibration of the planet. This is such an important time for that. It can really help end war. I believe that very strongly. I know that's a strong statement, but if you really think about all the war within that twin flame separation causes, I think that this is a very viable solution to ending world war, which I find very important. So that's, to me, a cause worth pursuing. And it also, is so much more peaceful to be with your twin flame. And it is worth the work required to do so if you also feel, into your heart and you do understand, what I'm communicating. You might feel that way too. So let's see what this card has to say about all of this, okay? Ooh, this is a good one, guys. Sensuality, not sexuality, but that does sometimes go hand in hand with sensuality. The frequency of sensuality reminds us that as spirits in human bodies, we are sensual beings experiencing joy and pleasure from the physical world through our senses. Yes, so sensuality, I really like how it explains it. It's about the senses and experiencing that, and in that way can actually also help you cultivate your psychic ability. And I do tend to find the sacral chakra and the third eye chakra to be so linked, and I think that this is why. And so in cultivating this, you are also cultivating that beautiful connection you have between you and your twin flame, and calling that down to earth, calling that into the physical, because you're open to it. You are moving towards your desires. You're not shutting them out, but you're also not going after just the desire itself. You're going what is beyond the desire, which is spirit. And so you're really calling it in from the right place when you're doing that. So I'm going to read that again to you. The frequency of sensuality reminds us that as spirits in human bodies, we are sensual beings experiencing joy and pleasure from the physical world through our senses. So this is the energy, the frequency that you can call forth at this time, that you can cultivate during Aries season to really help you. So if you feel like you get off track, I really invite you to come back to this card and this energy. And this will help also to like ground that fire and to utilize that fire energy of Aries. And of course, there's lots of other things going on in astrology. It's not just about what's going on with Aries season. That's what we're focused on right now, and I think there's a specific reason why that's being focused on. And you can see the fire energy even in this frequency of this card, and see how it's grounding down into the lower chakras with the colors, and kind of similar to the colors I chose for the thumbnail for this YouTube video as well. And it's number 36, so this is about communion with spirit, about sharing that, also about creativity. So sensuality, but communing with something higher. And so creativity also plays into that. Eating well, you know, everything that is going to fill you up inside in the right way, you know, like that's going to fill you up so that you can also feel purposeful in your life, and that you can really claim your twin flame journey as your own. You know, it's like the hero's journey. And so when you really do move forth with it and you're not wishy-washy with it, I feel strongly that you will feel better about yourself and you'll feel more confident and not less, because I think that there's also this ego that can stand in the way and tell you, oh, you know, that's like weak. That's just like you're kind of giving up on doing you by investing in twin flame work, or by investing in your romantic life when you're not even with this person. That's convoluted, that's weird, da da da. So you're gonna get maybe some of these going through your head when you move forward on your twin flame ascension path. And it's important to not listen to that. But if you need to work through it and face it, you might need to do that. So if you listen to that, and that is ultimately what you do, that's the result you're going to get. You know, you're going to get the result of that, of kind of going hand in hand with that voice. And that voice is terrible, you know? It's not telling you to love yourself. It's not telling you to love what's in your heart. It's not telling you to put what's in your heart first. So why would you listen to that? It's sickness, it's death, it's destruction, and it's war, and it's not worth your time. So yes, you know, being on your twin flame ascension journey is an investment, but it's going to be an investment that is ultimately one of peace and one of joy, not just for you, but also for your twin flame. So it's like a 2-for-1 deal for one thing, and also for the whole planet. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I will see you again soon. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Take care. Love and peace. Bye.